Oh, all right. Ladies and gentlemen and explorers of the unknown, please welcome your host, a man born when a supernova met a less than supernova inside a Chevy Nova behind a Bob's Big Boy off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. This is Dale Seever!
Goodness. Well, hello. It's me, Dale. Welcome, everybody. SF Sketchfest. I'm so excited to be back here in sanfrancisco.com. It's fantastic. Thank you for having me. I had forgotten what it's like to be this damp all the time. I love coming back here. I do. Just today I saw two pigeons fighting over a chicken nugget in the street. It's a beautiful town. A beautiful town. Safe to say that I'm now off pigeon and probably nuggets. Too, for the time being, over at the Golden Corral. No, I'm so happy to be here, and this is, you're witnessing history. Can you feel it? This is the very first Deep Night with Dale. And what? Yes. And what that is, it means that it's as if we've all woken up together, and I've woken up with some of you, haven't I? But it's as if it's about 4 a.m. and we've all woken up together and we've all grabbed our flashlights and our miner caps and we're heading out there into the great unknown, and hopefully we won't find anything or anyone, because the dark and commitment are my two things that I'm afraid of. I hope we're safe and sound. That, and I don't like when you see 3 people that are all the same height exit the subway. Very disconcerting to me. I don't like that. You must have that here too on your beautiful luxury elevated lines of the Bay Area Rapid Transport System, don't you? It's funny to think that in other places BART is considered a luxury, but it is. It has carpet, and that's, you know what I mean? That you've got something going on there. I always like to, it's like going to the dentist in Marin. You know the pain's gonna be the same, but there's so much light. You know. Yes, the BART is like the doctor's office waiting room of public transportation. And I always think that I'm going to find an old people magazine in there, but instead I find old people's magazines in there, and it's a little bit, you know? And it's the kind of time where you wish you had a portable blowtorch to just, you know, incinerate the thing. I picked up an old copy of Slow Cooker magazine, and I'll never be the same. But wouldn't that be nice if you could just burn things that you saw that you didn't like? I'd like to do that with memories, too. That would be nice. My ex-wife isn't here again, is she? No, it's good. We're safe and sound. Oh, my, well. We've got a couple of dirty birdies here, Hootsy. Who? Oh, these two, right here in the front row. Sitting down there, second row. I'm sorry. There you are, aren't you? And I know what you're thinking. How do I make every move look so sexy? Well, I'll tell you, and I'll tell the folks here, that leading an erotically charged life is simple. You just have to follow a few simple steps that I can lay out for you here tonight. Number 1, always give yourself the gift of the unexpected. Do something different. This year, for instance, go ahead and do your taxes at a nudist colony. Yeah, you'll be surprised. You should have seen some of my returns. There were some deductions too, and I hope I don't end up with any dependents. But also another thing to do is to, expiration dates. That's merely a suggestion. Okay, live life is what I'm saying. But wear more vests. Your very relaxed arms will thank me, as well as your many exhausted lovers. Thank me for that tip. Also, always ask yourself the question, what else can I use this for? You know, there's many things around the home that could have multiple purposes. For instance, before too long, you will probably find yourself wearing a handmade bathrobe out of old duck sauce packets and giving yourself a sriracha face mask as you answer the door. At home and ding dong, who is it? You know, just as the burn really starts to set in. Well, it's the mailman, Robert. Hello, Robert, how are you? Fine. How are the children? Fine. I don't care about the children, but we're making small talk among people. And I have to confirm that it's actually him on the other side of the door. I live in a bit of a rough neighborhood. So anyhow, when I finally have established that it is indeed Robert the mailman, I will creak open the door a little bit, let go of the chains, and then I'll say, oh, what have you brought me, Robert? Why, it's a package. Who is it from? Me. What is it? A box of bees. Send yourself a box of bees, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good way to have a little spike of fear and a little bit of joy, and isn't that what sex is anyway? Simple. It's simple steps. These two know what I'm talking about. Well, say hello, give a hooty hoot to our half-man, all-night owl. DJ Hootsy is here tonight. We're excited about that.
The bees are my friends.
That's good to keep in mind. Now, Hootsy, I understand, congratulations are in order. You've recently become a father.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Not a lot of fans of the little ones out here. That's right.
You're out after 8, I understand.
Clearly, we've done enough to protect the owl population.
Yeah.
But I understand you're under the false idea that you can do sleep training.
Oh, well, it's a process. I'm up all night, though.
Yeah.
Easy for me.
Doesn't faze you. Now, what kind of music are you going to be playing for your little son there?
Oh, plenty. Chip Funk, Treehouse, Avril Lavigne. I'm a dabbler in all forms.
It sounds like you.
Yeah. Rocks, just banging rocks.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. I find works
A lot of
for one of us.
A lot of just nature kind of things.
Oh yeah, nature
Yeah.
sounds, just water or other liquids
Uh-huh. Good.
running
Yeah.
all night.
That's the way you just have a little machine that you set up, or you just play it from the laptop?
Just drinking liquids and
Just
processing, really.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Kind of an internal soundtrack. Well, that's wonderful. I can't wait to hear some of the things that you will be playing for us tonight.
You'll be excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. You know me, I already started a kind of heightened level. So it can only go up. Now, it's exciting. I'm so glad. I should mention, though, we do have a sponsor tonight, so I need to thank them. My goodness, isn't this something? We are sponsored tonight by inaudible.com. They're wonderful. This is wonderful. If you like listening to that's the place to go, and they have over 100. So go ahead and go to inaudible.com/free trial/ and you'll get yourself a free trial and 30 days with an audio. Once again, that's inaudible.com. It might be something, but it's probably nothing. Inaudible. Now, when you're talking about deep night, and that's what we're talking about tonight. All these kind of things, the unknown things that could happen, the bad decisions that get made at that hour. You either have had too much of one thing or not enough of another, right? But one of the things that's key to this is that you have to look your best. Now, a lot of people write to me, the young people, they write to me all the time, asking about fashion tips, that kind of thing, and they send me, the fax machine comes in, and I start firing up, and that reminds me I got to get more thermal paper. But the point is, all over the country they write to me, and I say, well, here's what you have to do, and I respond to every one. The point is, that if you're going to go out, you got to look your best. And I needed some tips, so I consulted with a person here in San Francisco, a great talent out there. She's a drag artist, and I spent a little time with her the other day. So if we can play the video, you'll get some tips.
I'm so thrilled to be here. We're going to show you how to do some makeup.
We are, yeah.
Going out at night on the town.
Tonight we're doing Alien Sad Girl.
Alien Sad Girl.
1960s B movie, Alien Sad Girl from Space.
Those are my favorite ones. What's step one?
So we're going to cover our eyebrows, which is probably the most important step in drag. You can shave them off or you cover them.
Oh, that's cover up. I've had whole conversations just using my eyebrows. Do you do this every night?
At least 4 times a week at this point.
4? It's very relaxing. How do you settle on a drag name?
It was actually the first name that I thought of.
To me, it sounds like the pudding of a lady villain.
Like
That's
a lady
all right.
villain in pastels, bleeding out of every orifice.
Dark there at the end. I was thinking of a name for myself.
What is that?
Jennifer Jason Lee Jeans. Jennifer Jason up top, Lee Jeans down below. Space ears. Face massage. Being pummeled by a kitten. Think some very sad space thoughts. Like, are they going to come back to get me? Or how do I grow potatoes? You know, real sad stuff. And this gives you definition to the cheekbones.
The cheekbones, we're going to change the face shape a little bit.
Triangle. That's a crucial part about it, isn't it? The entertaining, being up late. You go to the diner. You know what I like is a French toast. I'll have a French toast. Every dish. That's a lot of powder. Now we're going to do eyebrows.
Yeah.
Put them back. We took them away, and now we're going to put it back in. Again, if you're going to a Ruby Tuesdays or a TGI Fridays or something like that, just give yourself 3 hours in advance. It's now a good time to tell you I have conjunctivitis. So now we're going to do blush. Because even though you're blue,
You're still a living, breathing thing.
this is
It
true.
has.
Even if you're sad, you're still alive. Oh my goodness. I feel like we're at the news desk.
Intergalactic news team.
I'm ready to go out there and, I don't know, have some hash browns. It's almost like a remake of Working Girl. It's such a smart blazer. Creme Fatale. This has been, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This has been beautiful. I really appreciate
It
it.
was a lot of
My
fun.
goodness.
Yeah.
Good.
Think possible?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't see.
Oh, I got caught in my hair.
Just so easy. Just put it on, get your face on, and get out there. Am I right, ladies? Oh, well, I want to thank Creme Fatale. Check her out. Unfortunately, yeah, she's great. She's got whole videos there on her Instagram account of just her blinking. It's fantastic. She has a day job that she goes to. She works over at Starbucks. And she had to pull a late shift and couldn't get back here tonight. She was going to be here. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here. But look her up. She's terrific. And that was a lot of fun. And I spent the whole day like that. So I met some interesting people. Well, we should get to it. All of our guests tonight are so great. Let's get to it. And we're going to be talking about some wonderful things. My first guest is a talented writer and journalist and editor, and she owes me one, which is why she's here tonight. But she's great. She writes about all different kinds of things for all the greats. Atlas Obscura, Popular Mechanics. Still get your subscription to that, Popular Mechanics?
Who?
Yeah. See, I built a submarine from that. Just sunk to the bottom of a pond. It was a tough week for me. But New York Times, that's the gray lady, and Bay said, oh, a whole bunch of them, all the ones that you read, all the ones you have bookmarked there in your browser. Please welcome Andy Wright to the stage. Andy! Yes, Steve. How are you? Hi there. Grab a seat. Grab a microphone.
That's
That
the
is-
power,
you
the
started
power
things
of
off
love.
on a hostile note.
Hootie
I owe
loose. The power of love.
Oh, well, this is it. You've fulfilled your thing now. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But, Andy, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I see you helped yourself to a warm beer backstage.
Oh, it's like a jacuzzi.
Isn't that what we want from a beer? A jacuzzi in our mouths. That's
life.
terrific. Well, let's get right to it, Andy, because you write about so many fascinating things. One of the things that you've covered is called Radionics. Is that true?
That is true.
And that is I'm a big fan of mystic energies and holding on to people's rods. So can you tell me more about radionics and what's involved?
Yes, I can. It doesn't have to involve rods. You can.
It's a disappointment, isn't it?
Radionics. A lot of it has rods. There's a lot of rods.
A lot of rods.
Radionics is this idea that you can kind of like harness your energy and your intention and concentrate it in like a weird device that you make and send those intentions out into the world, and that it will bring you things. It can cure people. It can bring you riches. I talked to a man who said that his radionics device had gotten him a Star Wars themed self-help book deal and a diamond ring.
And these are facts.
They're fact-like.
Good enough for me.
So-
Now, the idea though is that you come across you hold on to a person's rods and then you discover his or her stickiness. Is that the?
There is a stick plate involved, so you would if you want to make it even more sensual, you would gently
Obviously,
rub your.
I do. Yes.
Your radionics device would have something called a stick plate, and you would gently rub your fingers on the stick plate until you felt stickiness. While turning, there's also turning, so you would be turning knobs. There's knobs.
Good. Yeah.
You would be rubbing the stick plate, and you would be waiting for the stickiness, and once you felt the stickiness, that's when you know the universe is tapped into your intention and will send you the things that you ask for.
I'm fascinated by it. And can I use any kind of plate though?
I think copper is preferred.
Copper is preferred.
Yeah.
I had some of those
So-
Franklin Mint plates that I was. Now I understand it
Give it a
also
whirl.
measures your vitality.
Yes.
And you came in with a score of about 416, is that correct? Somewhere
could have been
around
better.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
could have
what are
been
your
better.
plans for 2016 to boost that up a little bit? Maybe get into something more respectable, around a 700 or so?
I don't jog.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, just some jogging.
Loosen everything up, I guess.
Yeah, a little exercise.
Aha. Now, some of the writing that you've done, you've been fascinated with as you're talking about these forces that connect the universe. You've gone and visited with hermits out in the desert. You've spent time with a psychic named Yoder. I think I have to ask the obvious question here, Andy. Are you Star Wars?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I had my Force Awakened during an especially randy episode of Buck Rogers. And then it just went to sleep, and it's been to sleep since the divorce. But it's great. Now, you you did spend some time with hermits, though. Is that true?
I did.
You went to a hermit retreat.
I did, yes.
What must that be like to live all alone by yourself with little or no contact with other humans for a prolonged period of time?
It's very quiet.
Very quiet.
You sit around a lot and you kind of like stare and just think, just Yeah.
But you can choose to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all can. We can all be hermits.
I guess that's true. Some of us, it feels like it's more of an outside force. But I guess, you're right.
Sometimes the world makes you be a hermit. Yes,
it's a bit of a choice. But you know what's awkward, though, I found? I mean, I've encountered a couple of hermits in my travels, and whenever you stumble across a hermit at the salad bar at Whole Foods, like right after the retreat, you know.
That's a hot spot for hermits, the salad bar.
But they don't, their chit-chat is very out of date. You know, I know, we already know about kale. It's as if they're discovering it and telling me about it.
Yeah. They want to talk about like the Elf finale.
Yes, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Now, you also spent time with, are you naturally a skeptic, though? Is that true?
I would call myself a hopeful skeptic.
Hopeful skeptic.
Yes.
And you spent time with a psychic.
I did.
Yeah, and what did they reveal to you?
It was actually kind of surprising to me how they actually told me some things that were pretty accurate, like weirdly accurate. He was like, I think you want to illustrate children's books. And I was like, I do.
You're also a visual artist, too.
I am, yes.
Yeah. Beautiful
That's
drawings.
It. That's it.
So you're going to follow up on this? Are you going to do it?
Maybe.
We all want you to do it.
Yeah, I am.
We can't wait.
I'm going to do a children's book about psychics.
Oh, that would be good. Children have a lot of do psychics have a lot of children? Or do children have psychics?
Both, I think.
They're kind of special. Some of them aren't.
I think both of those things happen.
Indigo children, always glowing about. Aren't they? Those are the special ones. You read about that, indigo children. They're just like little aliens creeping about. You can't trust any of them as far as I'm concerned, but they all think they're special, don't they? Well,
so special.
What do you think it is about the Bay Area? Because here you walk around here, you go to Berkeley Bowl, any place you go, you have a sense that people are kind of in tune with this, you know, with all of this stuff that you're talking about, with that kind of the mystical energies and the crystals and math. What do you think it is? You know, the unknowables. What do you think it is about this place that has attracted so many seekers?
You know, I think it's just the kind of coastal, foggy, beautiful, weird setting.
Well said.
I thought so. Thank you.
Well said, Andy. And what brought you out here? What are you seeking?
Oh, what am I seeking? Literally, I came out here for an internship and couldn't afford to leave. So I'm still here. It's been 10 years.
So, well, congratulations. That's wonderful. So you would leave if you could just get, what's the dollar amount that would get you out of here?
Woo! I don't know. Are there any bidders? Any money?
Probably not the right form for that. But this is...
Disagree.
What do you have next? What are you working on right now?
Oh, you know, right now there's a couple different things that I'm interested in. I'm really interested in people who are building their own coffins. So if anybody in the audience is a woodworker who's building their own coffin,
show of hands, building your own
I want to
coffin.
talk to you.
Anybody?
You want to be buried in something you built. I want to talk to you.
Well, that sounds like a great read, and I can't wait to see it in one of your many fine media outlets. Thank you for being here, Andy Wright. Can you stick around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there more
good.
warm beer?
Yeah, sure.
Then I'll stay.
Okay. Andy Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful. So let's bring our next guest out here. Is a legend out here, isn't he? Somebody who's been on the scene for quite some time, hanging out with the music scene and the podcast scene and the comedy scene, doing it all. Here he is, George Chen, ladies and gentlemen. George, how are you, sir? All right, sir, come right over here. Grab a seat.
Real old. That's legend.
There we go. Been around the block.
The Radionics thing reminded me of, have you seen this documentary called I Think We're Alone Now?
No, I haven't.
Do you know about this? Has anyone in here heard of I Think We're Alone Now?
I've often felt that.
Okay, so it's a movie about two people that are obsessed with the 80s pop star Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them is this guy named Jeff Turner who lives in Santa Cruz, and he built his own Radionics helmet. He's got like a bike helmet that he's modified.
Does it have crystals?
I think there's crystals involved as well, yes.
The idea is to conjure Tiffany?
To just communicate with Tiffany in her dream states. Only my dreams is Debbie Gibson, though. I got that wrong. Okay.
Debbie Gibson. Yeah. Well, either way, once you're into the astral plane, you could run into a lot of fading pop stars. It's a little spooky out there.
More every week.
Yeah. Hootsy, what did you play when George came out?
That was Broken Wings.
Oh, I see.
Broken Wings.
I got it. Okay.
Mr.
All right. There's kind of a theme
Greatest hits.
with what you're doing. Okay. And now, George. In addition, I'm glad you started with music because that's what I want to start with too. Because you were kind of a staple on the scene, right out there before you got into the comedy world and perhaps the gentler world of podcasting, where there's little or no audience or other people around. You
About the same number.
you were part of the kind of the post-punk, the kind of happening scene over there in the East Bay, right?
Yeah, I lived in Oakland. I still live in Oakland. I continue to live in Oakland. Yeah. Can I get a ride home? Okay. I got a show after this. I used to play in bands, and I had a record label, and I put on shows all around the Bay Area, San Francisco and Oakland. Yeah.
And you were part of the scene over there at 924 Gilman?
I mean, I went there.
Yeah.
I went there a lot. I was never a volunteer at Gilman.
It's
But
a little
still
loud.
there. They just recently got nonprofit status. I don't know if you heard that.
I hadn't.
Yeah,
The
there's
news
a word
hadn't
for
reached
that.
the East Coast yet, but
Yeah.
that's terrific. It was always a little
It's kind of
scary.
an ABC No Rio kind of situation over there.
It was always a little scary to me.
Berkeley?
Well, yes, but let's keep it focused. Just that the Gilman.
Oh yeah, by
place.
the train tracks.
Very loud.
You were intimidated?
I was intimidated.
But you're like a night person, right?
I am, but I was into a kind of a different. Did you ever go to any raves?
I never went to any
See,
raves.
that was my scene, man. That's what I was into. And anytime Ginny would have one of her bird calling classes, or if her friend Linda would drop by, I'd get out of there, and there was a little place under the freeway ramp, just over there by the Bay Bridge, and I always kept my high furry boots and my glow sticks just in the trunk in case.
A rave would
This
break
situation,
out.
I would get over there, listen to all the greats, Turtle Lewis, Sneaks, Pipsqueak was over there, Ramsey the second was doing some stuff at that point. Floorboards, all
floorboards?
floorboards.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just?
Deep house.
Yeah,
That's deep
very
house.
deep house. It was sub-basement, some of what I was listening to. Did you write about that scene?
Oh yeah, I would write about music for like the Bay Guardian for a while. R.I.P. the Bay Guardian. Well, that was a weird. Okay, that's trying to bring it up. It was fun to write. I did some journalism. It's not real journalism. Is music writing real journalism? Does anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I had to talk to
Don't
people.
undersell yourself.
Oh, but that's what I like about podcasting. You don't have to type that shit up anymore. Just put it out.
I just want to point out that you're asking somebody that's talking about sticky plates and all this or that.
That happened.
if
It's journalism.
If it's journalism. But it's all valid. Everything that we do, isn't it, that we put out into the world. But let's keep it back here, George. I want to get focused again on, so you wrote a lot about that music, and do you have a favorite genre?
No,
really
not
gets you
really.
going?
I've kind of listened to a lot of different music lately. I like this band called the Sleaford Mods. Has anyone heard of the Sleaford Mods?
Yeah.
One guy, great.
Yeah.
Go check them out. They're this British band.
Yeah.
It's very it's kind of like The Fall as like a weird post garage hip hop band or something.
I'm on board with everything you're saying. Yeah, I've been to a garage. I think some of us have been. Now you had a music label.
Yeah, I had a record label.
Zum.
Yeah.
Zum music. I'll tell you something, George.
Yeah.
There is some music I like, and some I don't care for.
Same with puns. Okay. I started this magazine.
Yeah.
And
It's just fun, isn't it? Just to have fun with language. Yeah.
I ran this magazine with my sister, and then we started a record label in the late 90s, and kind of kept going until about 3 years ago, when no one wanted to buy anything that I put out anymore. So, boo-hoo, right? It's not a big deal. Then I transitioned to comedy, so it's working out financially way better.
Oh, well, good for
Great.
you.
Times.
And you host a comedy show, right?
Yeah, I have a show that I've been running for over 3 years at Lost Weekend Video. Pandering, it's called. When you try, so we do a show there every Saturday night, and I also have a show called Talkies. It's going to be at Sketchfest at Piano Fight in 2 days.
Yeah, have you had a good Sketchfest? You've had a number of shows.
Yeah, I got to do 2 other things than this.
But this is the highlight so far. Now, you've also, you have at least 60 or 70 podcasts that you're involved with, producing out there. Is that true?
Yeah, minus like it's 58 or so. Yeah.
The ballpark. Now, one of the ones that you do is called Sup Doc.
Yeah, that's I actually didn't realize we were on the slides that were rolling by earlier, but it is a show I do with Paco Romain, another San Francisco comic, former sketch guy around here, and he and I. Well, he had the idea of doing a show about documentaries that was going to be like comedians watching documentaries, talking about it, and we got a bunch of great guests to come on. Not just comedians, like film directors, people that have made documentaries, like this woman Marjorie Sturm, who made the J.T. Leroy documentary. If you haven't seen that, it's not widely available yet. Also, Jody Willey, who made the Source Family documentary.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a great one.
That's a great one.
Some musicians. We talked to Dan Deacon about the Rolling Stones' Give Me Shelter documentary. And we talked about the Tiffany documentary with Jeff Turner and his Radionic helmet.
And what do you think makes the perfect documentary?
Perfect documentary. There's no, that's the thing, there's like no way to
We're always striving for it, aren't we?
We're trying to like come up with like a logo even. We're thinking about a logo. I'm like, there's not like an
nothing.
Iconic thing we can just throw in there.
No, it's like a Persian rug, always leaving a little...
Like, what is reality?
Blue.
What's the ideal reality?
Exactly. Thank you, George. That's what I've been trying to get at. And would you ever make a documentary? Because you've been involved in so many of these scenes, you could certainly chronicle some stuff.
Definitely, it's made me think about it. Like talking to the people that have directed these, it's made me think a little bit about it. Yeah.
Do you not care for fantasy?
The works of Boris Vallejo.
For instance?
6 deep cuts. All right. No, I've been watching Game of Thrones. Actually, I'm not caught up on Game of Thrones. I'm not caught up in a lot of the appointment watching that has been going around. I started season 4.
Yeah.
Was that season 4 or 5? I don't remember. Whatever. Like I watched the first 2 and then I got busy and I didn't.
Okay. Well, we don't need the full rundown. I'm just wondering if you enjoy
Making a Murderer.
Okay, but
Yeah, you watch that? Anyone? Making a Murderer? I'm not done. I'm at to 7. Like or almost. And we're gonna try to do a show. I think ideally we're gonna do that show this weekend. We're gonna do an interview with someone about making a murderer, but we don't want to like announce it till we get it locked down. But someone who's here for Sketchfest. So.
Durst? Is it the Durst guy?
Fred Durst, yes.
Yeah.
No,
He's also
it's
had
someone
some
who has
tough
a
times.
legal background. Because I thought that would be really interesting to talk to someone who actually has a law degree.
That would be interesting.
About the making a murderer.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a dummy.
No, George, you're very intelligent, and you're involved in so many great things, and I wish you the best catching up on all those HBO programs. So when's the next show?
The next show that I have I got one after this.
After tonight, you're going to go to a show?
After, like, in a little bit.
Oh, what's your favorite late night memory?
Oh, gosh. Do you know the secret slides? Does anyone know the secret slides? There's some nods. There's some secret slides. I, took a friend to the airport at, 5 a.m., and we went and found the secret slides. And we didn't find the secret slides. We just walked around in the dark.
Somebody set up a slide projector somewhere?
There's these concrete slides above Dolores Park.
Oh, that you can ride down.
I don't remember. They're you kind of gotta if you look for them, you'll find them, or you gotta ask around. Or there's probably on Google Maps. I'm just dumb. I don't know.
But it's comfortable to go down that?
No, you gotta bring some cardboard with you.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why I put it in the trunk.
Yeah.
George, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Can you stick around?
Yeah.
Great. That's great. Just about down there. One. Isn't it something? People from all walks of life doing all these talented and amazing things. Hootsy, you doing okay over there?
Doing great. Might need some cardboard, but...
Yeah, we'll hit those slides.
Yeah.
You and me, we're gonna go over there.
Okay.
That's right. Then we'll build a coffin for each other.
That's a perfect Tuesday night.
It's a perfect Tuesday. Okay, well now let's get to it. I'm very excited for all of my guests, but also this one who's going to come up. She's the founder of spacehack.org. She's an advisor to NASA. You ever hear of it? That's a big deal, and she's written a book all about space. Let's bring her up. Ariel Waldman is here. Ariel. There you are. Welcome, Steph. Great to see you. Have a seat there. What are you playing there, Hootsy?
It's Satellite of Love by Lou Reed,
Yeah.
also known as the love theme from Dale Radio.
That's right. That is my love theme. Ariel, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited that you're here because I am a big fan of science. Number one, you got to know that. Okay? Coming in, that's it. I like all the things because I like that you can't argue with science. There are certain things that are just absolute facts. We all evolved from a single molecule. Whales are volcano demons. There's things that you can't argue. Every bald eagle shares the same eye. They all see
Oh, a
same
wog.
thing.
Yeah, that's a wog.
They all see the same thing, and that's what I love about science. You can't argue with it once it's set in stone like that. Now, you founded this platform to crowdsource ideas about space, and one of the things I really love is that you incorporate ideas from science fiction. Do you like that I love that? Yeah.
Spacehack.org is a directory of ways to participate in space exploration. So it's anything from discovering galaxies to building rovers and science fiction that's actually science.
Yeah, well, I like that because I do like the hard facts of science, but I also like to have a little whimsy, unlike George. But I like some of the spooky stuff that Andy gets into, too. And I love there's some real, some things that you can borrow from the science fiction world, but I would just, again, for the young people, I would caution to be careful, and some of the people you probably talk to when you bring them together for science hack days and things, right? I would just caution you, don't look to Star Wars for science, because that, as is written, a very long time ago. All of that technology they're all wearing rags. None of that is feasible today. Now you have to look at Star Trek or something like that, that's okay. But if you go to Battlestar Galactica, you might be tempted to go to Battlestar Galactica. But that, again, check the historical record, because in fact, those people were the first settlers of Earth that we're on right now.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, but we all know it. It's common knowledge. It's taught. It's taught in the science books, mostly in Texas. But I think that's true. But do you think that we'll see something like holodecks on shuttles?
Well, the Microsoft, the Microsoft HoloLens is already aboard the International Space Station, so we're there.
We're already there, and you can 3D print things. That's like a replicator, isn't it?
Yep.
We're well on our way.
Really crappy one, but yeah.
Okay, all right. But now, what about holograms? Have we given up entirely on holograms, or that's what you're saying the HoloLens is? Or what happened to the lady that winked is what I'd like to know. There was an early hologram when I was a boy, when they first came out into the scene, and you'd go to the museum, and you'd see this hologram, and you'd look at her, what is it? And it's just a woman, and she just...
That's like a ruler, though, right? It's like
Yeah.
a lenticular ruler.
I'm a millennial. I don't know anything about that. So.
Oh, well, we're a little hot on the mics. We might want to bring that down, but there's a little buzzy getting into my ears there. I'm squeaking somehow. But this lady. Well, I think about her a lot. But anyhow, I'll send you a link to her, because I think it would be nice to bring her back or 3D print her in some capacity. Do you think, though, that it's a smart idea to crowdsource space? Because aren't some people just in it for the rewards?
Yeah, well, I think Elon Musk has famously said the best way to make a small fortune is to invest a large fortune into space exploration. So, yeah, I think the people who are in it for the money are, I don't know, not necessarily the best bet, but crowdsourcing space exploration in general is awesome because you get to have all these weird serendipitous ideas that otherwise wouldn't be infused into science. And so much of the history of science has to do with serendipity and having unusual collaborations come together to create great things.
Right, and how you got into science, you're an art student.
Yes.
Right, from Kansas.
Yes.
And then now you're shaping space exploration for the future.
That's
all
all
terrific.
facts.
That's terrific. And I think that's what we need, this kind of uncommon thinking, isn't it? That's what we've all been talking about. That's great. Now, you've written a book called What's It Like in Space?
Yes.
And this is it?
Yes.
We have it here to show everybody.
It's
Look at this.
bedazzled. It's available for pre-order on Amazon. A small $10. So
It's very reasonable to
Yes,
find out what
yes.
it's like in space.
yeah.
It's kind of like building your own coffin.
It is like building your own coffin. Well, that's, and I understand you don't want to go into space.
Yeah, I'm not a big going into space person. Everyone
Agree.
assumes that I am.
No, we're all on board with that. It sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of a camping trip from hell, and I don't like camping. So.
No. Well, that also makes me think, like, because I was wondering when I saw the title of this book, like, what does it smell like in space? And probably it smells like a tent that has been opened after many years of not using it, you know, or maybe the inside of an air mattress.
People have talked about how the smell of space, it smells like burnt cookies or burning metal or all sorts of odd things when they've come back into the airlock from spacewalks. So, yeah, not a delightful smell necessarily.
Sounds like a realtor was just there. Nice home cookie smell. Trying to offload the space station.
Let's gentrify it.
All right. And you talked to different astronauts, though, that were out there doing all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating, isn't it? What do you think is what was surprising?
I mean, a lot of different things. I think, you know, there were a lot of stories about bodily fluids and, you know, astronauts experimenting, doing different things on, you know, like, things like you can imagine that astronauts would wonder, like, can I propel myself with farts?
It wasn't what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, it's surprising. Turns out you can't.
You can't.
They've tried.
Yeah.
This is science, so
Yeah.
this has been,
I feel like
peer
I've done
reviewed.
it.
Yeah, can't do it.
Can't do it. No, there were a lot of great things. I think, you know, just like the delightful stories from especially astronauts who have paid to go up into space as opposed to be government employees. They had just great stories about screwing things up and being embarrassed and like going like, oh my God, so, you know, that everyone's going to laugh at me up here in space. And I think those stories were the most delightful ones because they're a little less buttoned up and a bit more realistic and you know, it sort of makes it clear that, you know, you can go to space and still be terrified about screwing up and having weird moments and I don't know, just all the same social awkwardness that you have here on Earth, you can have in space too. So you can't get away from it.
So probably a public speaking engagement in space would be terrible.
Yeah, they do a lot of those.
Right. That might be a fear for some people. Maybe I'd be okay. I'm worried about space junk mostly.
Yeah.
Circling around. Thank you. It's a real concern.
Yeah. Yep. Watching
That's what I'm trying to say.
a lot of Gravity.
I just watched Gravity.
Yeah.
That's all. I only watched that movie. Continuously. I'm so worried about space junk. But that's it. Well, what are you most excited about coming out of your research now? Everybody's designing rovers. What do you think is going to be the thing that's going to come online next that you're most excited about?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I think, I am excited actually about Mars rovers because, there's a certain way that NASA has been designing a lot of the rovers that have been there so far, and there's nothing to say that they know the best way to explore Mars. Like, we could be having Mars rovers that are more like tumbleweeds or, any sort of, I don't know, they could be like frogs or anything like that. And so I think the thing that...
Like a Macy's balloon float?
Yeah, it could be a Macy's balloon float.
Could be.
Why not? Like, I think some of the tragedy in space exploration is that everyone views NASA as being so, incredibly perfect about everything, and that they already figured out all the possibilities and they chose this one for a reason. And the reality is that you could explore Mars in a lot of different ways, and a lot of ways could be actually more effective than the way they've already been doing it. And we need people with ideas and different backgrounds to sort of make that happen.
Well, I've had a lot of ideas just sitting here, Ariel, and so how do I contribute? Do I sign up somewhere? Do I show up to a place? Do I bring back? Can I live someplace? I'm looking for a place to move. That's a little bit, has maybe people around, or you have a coffee maker at NASA?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever worked for the government? There's not a lot around. Don't even
Have you ever done any podcasting? There's not a lot around.
Yeah. Well, you fit in at NASA then probably. There is NASA Ames in Silicon Valley, but you can go to spacehack.org and it has a bunch of these different projects up there, and you can just kind of find something that's interesting and get involved, and it's pretty easy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to the bright future that you are helping to shape for all of us. Ariel Waldman, everybody. It's fantastic. I just love it. I love it. Let's hear it for all of our guests tonight. Ariel, George, Andy. My thanks to DJ Hootsy. Let's hear it for you. Jon Wolanske over there, a.k.a. #thank you very much. I would, you can tune in to Dale Radio, Deep Night, whatever you like, on daleradio.com. But my thanks to everybody here at SF Sketchfest. Hasn't this been fun? Thank you. Thanks to everybody at the Eureka Theater. My thanks to Ryan Junell for the opening show there and the video, and to Zach Gabbard for composing our theme, and to Creme Fatale, too, for her time. And George. There's a lot of people that go into making a show. Anyhow, this has been so much fun. Now stick around, because Killing My Lobster is coming up next. Have a great